Lechon. Lechon paksiw. Pork caldereta, pork sinigang, pork hamonado, inihaw na lempo, sisig, pork tocino, sweet and sour pork. Sarap, diba? What if one day, you won't have a way to buy pork products? What if all pigs died? Pero wait lang. This is a crisis that has already happened in 2019. There's a reason why we're not panicking right now, and that's what we're gonna be talking about in the next few minutes. Did you know that back in 2019, there's a virus called African Swine Fever or ASF? In that year, thousands of pigs were killed and buried. Both smallholder and commercial piggeries were affected. It was during that time that pork meats became a luxury because it became so expensive. So again, why are you not panicking? It's because it's not a mystery or an urban legend. We knew what was happening because it was all over the news. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call public relations or PR. PR, according to Kotler and Armstrong, is a marketing communication tool that helps build positive relationships with target publics, but also helps in handling negative perceptions caused by issues. Like COVID-19, ASF virus is a crisis that is a concern of the general public, the whole country even. Naturally, the government is addressing the issue by means we won't mention in this video. We will focus on how they use PR in communicating their efforts in curbing the virus. So how do you know if an issue is already a crisis? Do a quick test. Are stakeholders concerned? Are they constantly talking about the issue? Was there panic? With a lot of news about the virus at that time, we confirm that yes, there's clearly a crisis. Crisis in the government can be classified into three types: systemic, adversarial, and image or reputation crisis. ASF virus falls under systemic since it impacts all government operations. Eventually, it can also fall under adversarial since there are groups that challenge the efforts of the government. PR managers address crisis in three phases: pre, actual, and post-crisis. Pre-crisis involves preparing for a crisis that is not happening yet. If you are a PR manager, would you have predicted ASF from happening? Well, if I were one, I wouldn't have. So in this case, the PR team should be quick to act. In the same year, a crisis management team was formed by the Department of Agriculture or DA, the agency that leads in addressing the crisis. This team is important as they are on top of the monitoring and implementation of the crisis communication strategy. They are also in charge of developing, testing, and modifying a crisis management plan. Let's dissect if the government had the same response based on crisis responses recommendations after the avian flu. Did the government inform the public of their capability to handle the situation and reduce hysteria? This is actually our answer why we're not panicking today. Because it was announced by then Presidential Secretary Salvador Panelo that DA is competent enough to control the virus. Were communication channels other than the internet used? ASF was all over TV, radio, print media, and even social media. The government maximized these channels and provided a spokesperson to talk about their crisis management efforts at that time. Did the government make an effort to make the public understand the crisis effects and how the public can help? Through the media, we saw DA explaining what actions can lessen the risk and how biosecurity measures can help swine raisers. They also made an informational animated video uploaded in YouTube. Fourth, did the government use consistent terms to frame the threat? ASF virus, ASF, African Swine Fever, these are all used as reference to the virus. There's no confusion whatsoever when referring to the crisis. We're not going to discuss in detail what PR strategies can be used in dealing with crisis, but to learn more, you can check out references on government public relations and crisis communications below in the description box. Coming from the information we just processed in the past few minutes in managing the ASF virus crisis, remember MAPS or MAPS, tips that can help PR managers navigate and deal with crisis. Number 1, monitor. Regularly scan micro and macro environments to immediately spot emerging crises. Number 2, assemble. Build a crisis management team composed of PR team and key leaders of your organization. Number 3, prepare. Anticipate and prepare ahead by creating a crisis management plan if possible. And last but not the least, strengthen. Constantly boost your image through PR efforts in the absence of crisis. Because according to Neeley and Stewart in 2012, during times of crisis, your organization's prior reputations affect how your target publics perceive you. As with any job, PR is not easy, and it doesn't get easier with crisis. Now, here's a question for you. As one of the target publics of the government, what else can they do better in communicating their efforts? Once again, I'm Rose, and that's my Rosy perspective. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Radioactive Cigar Projects in the house. Let's go.